Hey guys, so in this video we're going to look at a completely different way to play Caris. Thanks to a new Astral weapon she will be receiving, as well as a new Ascension skill she's also going to be receiving. Caris we're going to be looking at is a 3-star Caris, which is quite important. Because at 3 stars, Caris is able to get to the Revelation state to power up her skills much quicker. And even better, if you have a 5-star Caris, she can get to Revelation much quicker and stay in the Revelation state much quicker as well. I won't go over all the traits and skills. I do have a full guide. I'll try and leave that at the end of this video. So Caris' unique Astral weapon, the Judicator of Light Oracle, will release about the same time as Asna, which I recently did a video on her Astral weapon. Probably during the element patch will be releasing. So this thing at 1 star is going to increase the magic attack 2% and increases the shield value gained by Caris by 10%. For every magical shield equal to 30% of HP owned, additionally you can increase magic attack by 2% up to 4%. And each rank is just going to increase that magic attack up to 4% there. And the magic attack you're getting from your shield is going to go up to 6%. Increasing your magic shield you get by 15% at 3 stars. It's not a big jump at 3 stars. Then at 4 stars, you increase your magic attack 6% and you can increase it again further up to another 9% there. At 5 stars, we can increase the shield she's gaining by 20% for every 20% of her HP owned, not 30% HP owned. She's going to additionally increase that magic attack up to 12%. So now Caris is playing more like a shield unit, focusing on magic shields as well, which is going to tie into the new Ascension skill we'll take a look at now. So her new Ascension skill she will be receiving in the Light Oracle's return. I push this up to level 3. It's not that expensive to go to level 3. We will get some rewards for getting these levels up. But this thing, when attacking with Light Oracle series skills, you know the skills she gets when she gets into Revelation state, gains an additional effect, increases her magic attack by 40%. After attacking, resets the skill's cooldown and can be triggered up to 1 time per turn. So this is referring to the cooldowns of her attacking skills, not her support shield skill. Those cooldowns are going to be reset to 0, so you can spam her AoE attacks every turn if you have the energy. When having magic shield, when the skill Light Oracle Purge of Sin, you know her big nuke AoE skill that takes a turn of preparation. Now that skill, when it's powered up in the Light Oracle state, deals damage to enemies within 2 tiles of the target. Additionally, you increase the damage multiplier by 60%. After using a non-instant support skill, additionally gains re-attack and inherits remaining movement, can be triggered up to 1 time per turn. And this is also huge. Basically this means she can use now her support skills or even items as an instant now. And she can even move after attacking or acting. So that's why we're going to be running this item Berserk Incense. Somebody mentioned in the comments in a previous video that maybe this will also work with an item, and it does actually work. So a support item that's a non-instant, we can now use this as an instant. And we're going to use this thing to give her Berserk Awake. It's going to increase her movement by 1 tile, and the damage is increased by 10% for 2 turns. I think if you star this thing up, then you can actually use it 2 times per battle. You're also going to increase your damage to 20%. At 5 stars, you're going to reduce the cooldown again to just 3 turns. Not sure what other non-support items we have. I think there is the Crystallized Shield that may work, or the Luxite Shield. So let's just try a couple of cool things when we're running this team. I'll explain why I'm choosing these units. Tyr works very well with her. It's provided with the free energy. And also because he moves before her. So Credenza moves after Caris. Caris has a low speed, which is very good for her, so that her allies can use non-instant skills before her. And every time they do that, then she's going to get 1 stack of Revelation. Remember, she needs 9 stacks to go into Revelation state. Problem with Credenza is on the first turn, Credenza moves after her. So I prefer Tyr as a support unit with her. We can provide energy for Caris, and she's going to need that energy for her big AoE nuke attack, because it does cost 4 energy. Now she's up to 4 energy already. And then we just want to cast as many non-instant skills. Every time there's a little flash above her head, and then she gets a Revelation stack. Camelot's great for Caris because he has so many actions that he can give her lots of Revelation stacks. So he can give her 1 non-instant. There's the flash above her head. And that's 2. It gave it 2 stacks already. The reason we have Shams here, he has a cool skill, Dawn's Resurgent, grants Poison Ready. And Poison Ready is basically a buff that your allies can keep with them. They can keep it as long as they want it, which will allow them to use a preparation skill instantly. They can skip the preparation phase. So he'll give this to the target as well as to himself, so we can do this. Caris, so she can skip the preparation phase for a big nuke, and then we'll just use more non-instant skills, get her into the revelation state. And there she goes into a revelation state, and she still has 2 stacks left over for the next turn. So see, this is the buff she's getting from Shams Poison Ready. The next skill requiring preparation can skip the preparation phase when used. Alright, so a couple of things are going on here now. She's in the revelation state. And so now because of the Ascension skill, she's running a unique Ascension skill. Remember, she can use non-instant support skills. She'll gain re-attack and inherits remaining movement. So that means we can use now a shield and it's powered up in the revelation state. The Light Oracle Broad Radiance. We can give our allies the 90% of our magic attack shields to all of our allies. And regeneration 3 to allies. They'll also gain immunity to bound. So now when we cast the skill, it's not going to end her turn. You can see she can act again. And she remains in the revelation state. It didn't use up a revelation even though we've used the revelation skill. You can only use a non-instant support for free once per turn. So we won't be able to use the Berserk item as well on the same turn as an instant. Very big magic shields on our allies. Camelot, it seems like he doesn't have much magic shields. That's just because Camelot has a massive pool of HP. So it's based off of her magic attack, the shield, not based off of the allies' HP. So she can't cover that massive amount of HP that he has. 17,000 HP he has compared to another strong breaker, Shams, who has 8,000 HP. And so now we can use our big AoE attack as well, and we can use this immediately without having to prepare for a turn. Deals 130% fire AoE damage and inflicts stun to enemies within range. Deals 80% AoE damage to enemies within a specified range, inflicting some debuffs on them as well. And attacking large enemies, the damage is increased by 100%. And so with our Ascension skill, the skill's multiplier is also going to be increasing. So after we use the skill, when having a magic shield, which we have, when using the skill Light Oracle Purge of Sin, deals damage to enemies within 2 tiles, you're additionally going to increase the damage multiplier by 60%. Oh, and I forgot also, when you're using any of these Light Oracle attack skills, you're also increasing a magic attack by 40%. And we're going to reset the cooldown as well. So we'll be resetting the cooldown on just the attacking skills. So this one, the big AoE attack, as well as a total punishment skill. You could reset the cooldown on these skills after you use them. But it cannot reset the cooldown on a support skill. You can see that's the cooldown is still up for 4 turns. It must be an attacking skill. So we'll cast this thing now. Finally get to use the skill. Alright, we're on the second turn now, and you can see she still has the skill. The cooldown has been, it's been reset. She also has enough energy to cast the skill again, so you can cast the skill twice. See, normally the skill has a 2-turn cooldown that's been reset, as well as total punishment as well. Unless you have a 5-star Caris, it's not easy for me to keep her in the revelation state indefinitely. At 3 stars, if you had 5-star Caris, for example, she'll stay now in the revelation state, probably indefinitely, and you could cast this skill again in the revelation state if you wanted to, but you could also switch out and use total punishment so that you don't have to wait an extra turn. And you can constantly cast the skill every turn, the total punishment, in the revelation state, because we're resetting the cooldowns on these attacking skills. A lot more options we've got now. The shield, though, is on a long cooldown, and probably one of the only ways you're going to reduce that is if you are running Credenza with you as well. So that's another option, to run Credenza. Especially at 5 stars, she'll have enough revelation. She won't need a unit like Camelot to keep acting and giving her revelation stacks. And Credenza will work much better with her at 5 stars. And so now we can use this support item for free. Normally that will end your turn, but now she can increase her movement as well, increasing her damage for 2 turns because we are at 1 star of the item. Right, so I just backtracked to our first turn again. So she has a lot more options now with the new Astral weapon and the Ascension skill. She's now a much better support unit with the shielding, but also you have to give her these shields so that it's going to activate the Ascension skills, you know, extra attack I think it's giving and make her skill stronger. Giving her this extra shields is also going to convert into extra magic attack that she's going to be getting from her weapon. For all the shield she owns, she's going to convert some of that to her magic attack as well. So now she's a much more shield focused unit. So again, now that we're in this revelation state, we can now use these powerful skills much more freely. Even total punishment I think is a really great skill. I think this is piercing damage as well that this one does. This is another skill you can run instead of running the big AoE attack, because you don't have to bring a unit like Shams with to help us skip the preparation phase. I would rather, more practically, this skill would be better for me to run this and not have to be dependent on anyone else. It's just the Ascension skill and the gear that we need, and then she can spam this attack every turn, and it has much more range that she can get all enemies that she wants to with this skill. And then I would maybe just use her as a, you know, to provide magic shields for the teams and then to snipe enemies using that skill. Then you could replace this big AoE attack with a leadership aura, which can benefit maybe Samantha a little bit as well. But we just have so many more options now. Another unit you can use to skip the preparation phase for this skill is, a lot of you know already, is Inanna. The old Inanna can help us skip the preparation phase. But that is a bit more expensive though. 5 stars would be a dream. You know, you're going to get 8 stacks of the revelation at the beginning of the battle. And then additionally 3 stacks. And you're also going to recover that 1 energy, which is going to help with there as well. At this stage, it might be too much of an investment. That's why I haven't actually pushed it to 5 stars. There's so many other units I'm trying to push up. But if you already have it 5 stars, then she's going to be very powerful. I mean, even if you're not skipping the preparation phase and you're taking 2 turns to cast, taking an extra action to cast that skill, it's still not bad, because you can now give your allies a shield on the first turn, and then, you know, she has the preparation phase for that skill. So it's basically like she did do 2 actions anyway. So I really don't think you have to skip the preparation phase for that skill anyway. So I think we can all also have the option now of using Purge of Sin, not just if we're using a unit like Inanna or Shams. This, especially the Ascension skill, has now really finally activated the skill, which before I thought was just a waste. It was too expensive. Like I spoke in my guide, the 4 energy that it cost, the preparation, it was a very expensive skill. But I think it's been much better balanced now to give us the extra support skill. That's gonna be all for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy and stay frosty.